Welcome back, players and collectors, to my channel, Ren's Collectibles. Today we have some great Lorcana news, some card spoilers, and other things to talk about. So let's not waste time. Let's get right on into it. Alright, first things first. Lorcana is going to be at GenCon once again in 2024. We already kind of knew that they were going to be there, but they've dropped a bunch of information for GenCon, actually. And starts off by saying, prepare for the unforgettable experience at GenCon with trading card game events, exclusive merchandise, and special promotions happening each day. So it's gonna be like what the last one was, except for the last one was the release, the soft release of first chapter. But what's interesting here, it says it's got the lineup at 8:30, but the exclusive products. A very limited number of the first chapter gift sets and troves will be available daily. Purchase limit of one of each product per person. This is a really interesting thing. A lot of people have been talking about this and kind of going back and forth on what this means and what the possibility of a reprint is going to be. But my whole thing with the reprint people is when they've done reprints, or if they've done extra prints, I should say, of stuff like the first chapter when they boosted the second print run of the booster boxes. It was just that, booster boxes and sleeved packs. They did not do the gift sets and the troves. And it's kind of the same with everything else. Once they start pumping out some more product for each set, it's usually just the booster boxes and the booster packs. It's usually not the gift sets and the troves. So this is very interesting to see where this is coming from. Did Lorcana and Ravensburger hold back a lot of product just for events like this in the future? Or are they reprinting small amounts now to give out? Or is this like the entry back into reprinting the first chapter before, the whole general public gets access to it? Is this the first thing to do? Or, is this simply just, hey, we have an exclusive event. Here's some really exclusive merchandise to make your experience that much more, enjoyable. Who knows, but the fact that they've got more of the first chapter coming, I'm not sure if it's going to drop prices of singles at all. It might not have any effect on that whatsoever. It might drop them a little bit. I don't know, but it's going to be very interesting. They're creating some huge demand. There's people already talking about getting here. I mean, it says the line starts at 8:30 a.m., but there's going to be a line to get into that line at 8:30 or before 8:30, and there's going to be people lining up to get that stuff. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm going to be watching that very closely to see how that goes. But then it goes on to special collections. The full line of Usula's return products will also be available for purchase, which makes sense, having the newest set out there. They've got events in locations. Play Luminaire's Quest Deep Trouble Room 130. There's going to be a bunch of people in there playing all these different games. If you've never played the Luminaire's Quest before, then this might be a good opportunity to play with some of the Ravensburger crew there to kind of walk you through it. And then all other events are Hall A. So I'm wondering if they're going to actually have a tournament or some kind of TCG thing going on for them. I'm sure they will. They just haven't really put it out there yet, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But they're going to have exclusive promos and pins. So the daily promo card will be Flotsam and Jetsam and Tangled Eels. They're going to have the anniversary pin, Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor first anniversary pin, which is really big too, because at the Gen Con last year when they did their soft launch of the first chapter, people got these Mickey Mouse cards and little pins, so it's going to be nice to see. I wonder if it's going to say first anniversary, if it's just going to be a literal reprint of the pins as well, but those will be really cool to see. And then event registration bonus, you get a Scrooge McDuck Uncle Moneybags promo card. So I can tell you now, these promo cards are going to be sought after big time. If that's something you're really wanting, you should consider going to GenCon and getting in line to pick these up yourself. Personally, I am not going this year. I would have loved to get some of the promos from last year, but those lines were crazy and I was not wasting my entire weekend just to try to get one. But that is it for the GenCon thing. It's very interesting that they finally put out there what they're going to be doing and what's coming out here and the possibilities of maybe the first chapter reprint. So you guys make sure you let me know in the comment section below what you think about all that and if you're going to be going to GenCon or not. Next up, we have some spoilers, some reveals. So, as we know, it's spoiler season for Set 5, Shimmering Skies. We've been getting them kind of weekly at this point. Well, we've got our first one for this week, which happened to be Ratigan from the Great Mouse Detective. And they actually spoiled the art, but then they spoiled all four, or the same card in all four languages that they're going to be printing it in. I don't know. Oh, I was like, why is it not loading? There we go. It is a 7-drop Ruby card, 5/5, 5 strength, 5 willpower, Floodborn villain. He's a party crasher. So you can shift 4. You may pay 4 ink to play this on top of one of your other characters named Ratigan. And then he also has evasive. Only characters with evasive can challenge this character. Then he's got the ability Delightfully Wicked. Your damaged characters get +2 strength. And he also quests for 3 lore. I mean, this is a pretty... You get this card out, you're doing pretty good. Not a lot's gonna slow you down on this. There's some cards that could slow you down on this, but you're doing pretty good if you can get this card out, especially with some certain combos out there. But what is really cool about this drop, interesting I should say at least, is they've done it in all 4 of their languages. So here we have German, here we have, is that French? I think that's French. I don't know all these languages that well. Oh, I have no idea. What is that? Spanish? Italian? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But they dropped it all out there. So that was kind of cool to see, you know, that they put it out there and then they put it out there for all the languages to be able to see. So that is the first card. And then the second, third, fourth, and fifth cards, because they did a bunch, they dropped all 4 of these. They what they did last time, they put out on their Discord like a little tidbit of what it could be, little hints as to what the cards are coming, and then, you know, the next day they dropped these. So, is that Scrooge McDuck? You've got Tinkerbell, and it looks like she's playing tug of war with Stitch. So that's going to be an interesting combo there. Louisa and Robin Hood, my favorite. But what makes it even cooler is that you have the actual cards with it as well. So this is an action card, Tug of War. Choose one. Deal 1 damage to each opposing character without evasive, or deal 3 damage to each opposing character with evasive. We're finally getting some really good cards to deal with evasive, people, and I'm happy about it. You know, Bucky, beware. Bucky players, beware. This is coming. This is going to hinder a lot of evasive decks, and it's going to boost a lot of the non-evasive decks. So my deck I play has very little to do with evasive, so I am going to thoroughly enjoy this card when it drops. Of course, it's steel, so you can only play it with steel decks, but, you know, here we are. And then we have Luisa Madrigal, which is a 6-drop, and has 4 strength, 8 willpower. Holy cow, that is a lot. And then she has really no abilities, but she quests for 3, so that's a pretty strong card. It's gonna definitely be one of those ones you're gonna have to take multiple glimmers to try and take her out, or, you know, have something like a Be Prepared, or, you know, but that's, I mean, that's a lot. 8 is a lot to take out, but very interesting, very powerful card. Obviously fits with Luisa from the Ganto movie. And then we have my favorite, Robin Hood, 9-drop. Holy cow, that's a lot. 6/6, so he is a 6 strength, 6 willpower, Storyborn hero. Tag me in. For each 1 damage on opposing characters, you pay 1 ink less to play this character. But what's interesting to me about that is it says for each 1 damage on opposing characters. So I'm not sure if that means for each damage counter. You know, if you have, let's say your opponent has 3 characters out there and then they each have 2 damage on them, does that mean you have 6 ink less to pay because for each 1 damage? Or is it specifically saying if a character has 1 damage on it, then you can pay 1 less? If it has more than 1 damage or no damage at all, then you cannot use that. I don't know, but it's that's going to be interesting to see. If it is truly just damage, however much damage is on your opponent, then that is a broken card. That is going to be ridiculously good. It has ward, so opponents can't choose this character except a challenge, and a quest for 4 lore. Robin Hood, my man, is just going after the lore. You pair this up with the other Robin Hood from, what is it, set 2? Set 3? That quest for 4, and you're going to be rocking and rolling. You are going to be rocking and rolling. That is a strong card too. And then it's Lwig von Drake. It's not Scrooge McDuck. I got that one wrong. But he is a 5-drop, a 4/4, 4 strength, 4 willpower, self-proclaimed genius, of course. He's got no abilities, but he quests for 3 lore. So that's pretty good for a mid-range card like this 5-drop here. And he's inkable, by the way. He's a 4/4 with 3 lore. You could probably get a good turn or 2 out of him, you know, depending on what you're playing. So pretty interesting card choices and pretty interesting drop and reveals here. Set 5 is looking really good, people. I'm very excited for it. But we also got this right here. It says, attention, US and Canada Disney Lorcana players and retailers looking to participate in Usula's Return Set Championship this weekend. So we got some news on the Set Championships. Due to shipping delays running into the US holiday week, Usula's Return Set Championship kits in Canada and certain areas of the US will not make it to stores for the start of Set Championship season this weekend. Shipments in other countries appear to have been on time and unaffected. Affected retailers may decide to postpone their Set Championships or issue pricing at a later date for their events. Players, please check with your local game stores for updates on the timing and information of the events. We apologize for the inconvenience and thank you for your understanding and patience. So, basically just coming out to say, if you were looking for more time to prepare for your Set Championship, Lorcana heard you. Obviously, this is not really as much to do with Ravensburger as it is to do with just the U.S. postal system and, you know, Canada having Canada Day, a couple days ago. And now, obviously, today's the 4th of July, so it's a major holiday for the United States. Things are getting postponed. So, kind of standard, one thing I was kind of thinking of early on when I saw this was, why didn't they ship this stuff out earlier? But then I remembered, people in the trading card community aren't always that great when it comes to getting stuff early. And we've seen time and time again, there's certain LGSs and people are signed up as LGSs that get this stuff and then just go to eBay and sell it. So it's probably good that they didn't send it out earlier and would rather push it back a date or two to ensure that people get their stuff on time and nobody's getting it ridiculously early. So that's interesting. And then the last 2 little things we got on here is a combo, actually. So somebody had posted this out there on Twitter with the new Robin Hood card. It says the whole 9-drop Robin Hood. You could pair it with this Hades in Emerald, because they're both Emerald, mind you. And this Hades says, if you tap it, you can banish one of your other characters, play a character with the same name as the banished character for free. So if you have, let's say, a Steel Robin Hood, one of those 2 or 3 drops, or even the 1 drop, that are just very weak, can't really do much with. You play it, you tap Hades or exert Hades, you banish the cheap Robin Hood, and then play this 9-drop Robin Hood for free. And that's certainly a combo that should not be overlooked, because you could get a 9-drop out there, that a 6/6 quest for 4 for free. So I just wanted to point that out and put it out there for anybody who's watching for maybe a little bit of deck building techniques, or wants a little help in seeing some of the Robin Hoods and not knowing really what to do. That is an interesting combo. And I definitely wanted to share that and make sure that you guys got to see a little peek of that. So, I'll probably, if I could find more little tidbits like this with the new cards that people are putting out there, I'll try to include them in my video. But that's all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I had one more piece on here, but I did not, so I miscounted. I apologize for that. But that's all we have. Pretty good drop. A pretty good drop. I'm happy about it, and I'm very excited to see, because they've been doing them kind of weekly now at this point. So I'm excited to see what next week brings in terms of Lorcana news. But again, you guys have to let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Make sure to give me all your thoughts and opinions down below, but make sure you also hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. But as always, I appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.